Okay, I just wanted to make a quick blog and tell you some stories about food. And I was thinking about food and men and meals and how I wish I knew a man who could cook. And then I tried to recall all the meals men ever made for me and kind of how my relationship with food and men evolved over the years. So I remember, and this brings me kind of to when I went to Happy Teriyaki yesterday. And the smell of the place kind of brought back memories of the first man I was engaged to. And it was kind of weird because I was like, wow, this smell just reminds me of something. And I remembered how I used to come to Happy Teriyaki when we were together and how we used to eat there. And that kind of started off like the romance or whatever. And he was very generous. He used to pay and everything. And he took me out to a couple places we used to go. To like Sizzlers or somewhere. Denny's. I remember he worked at Denny's as a cook. And, but he never really cooked for me. And even though he was a cook, I don't recall one meal he ever made for me. I know we used to eat out a lot. And then the next boyfriend I remember, we didn't cook very much, and we ate out a lot, and I don't remember any special meals with him. And then I was thinking, I probably went out a couple places, but I couldn't think of anything special. And then I met my ex, who I was with for like 18 years. And he used to take me out to like Black Angus and stuff. And he was kind of nice at first. And that's kind of how men are. When you meet them, they wine and dine you and court you. And then you hardly ever get to go out anywhere. And he never cooked for me. I think he made grits once. And then I met this guy who was a Jamaican guy, and then I asked him to cook for me. He made me breakfast. He made me grits and pastrami, I think it was, and eggs. And I wanted him to make this Jamaican rice for me, but he never did. And I remember he was cooking for some woman who was coming over, and I was like, oh, wow, he cooks for her. And then he was cooking for this guy. And I was like, wow, I guess I'm just kind of out of it. He just doesn't cook for me. So I never really got to taste his anything, jerk chicken, nothing. And I think he was kind of scared I might have took the recipe or something. Because I asked him how to make them rice, but he really didn't tell me. So I looked on YouTube and I finally found this recipe. I'm going to try it. Maybe I'll make a video. And, so I was thinking I kind of have not a real good... And then there was this one guy, I remember he was a merchant seaman. And he cooked for me. And he made some seafood or something. I don't even remember what it was. But I think he tried to slip a Mickey in my drink. So we got to also be careful about, having men cook for you or make you drinks, because they're really sly and stuff, and they could be putting stuff in there. I just read a story about CeeLo or something, and he slipped something in a woman's drink, and she claims he raped her, and she has him admitting it and all this stuff. So, even celebrities are doing it. So you really, as women, we need to be cautious. Because there's all kinds of crazy men out there that you do not want to deal with. And, so I never did get to, okay, anyways, this guy, he tried to, make me something, and he was all excited about me coming over, but I think it was just to slip me a Mickey. And I remember waking up kind of like in his room, and I was like, what happened? I didn't kind of remember what happened. So to this day, I swear he slipped me one, but you know, you can't prove those things a lot of times. And I just knew not to never go back there. And so I guess I just learned to make my own food. And you know, they say men are some of the best chefs in the world, but I have yet to experience it, and I bet it must be nice. So yeah, and then, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you about this one story too. When I was working at Jean Nicole, and it's like a plus size clothing store, and I was just standing there, and I seen this guy, and he was kind of attractive, and I've seen him a couple times walking by, and I started to notice that he worked next door at the sports place. It was like a sporting goods place. I think it might have been like the resellable place or something. I can't remember, but anyways, he one day he, you know, was walking by, he waved at me or whatever, smiled, and then when he got up enough guts to come inside and asked me for my phone number, and I took his number, and I called, and we talked on the phone, and I think we went, maybe grabbed something at Taco Bell, because it was like right by there, for lunch once when we both had like the same shift. And we, you know, chatted, and he seemed kind of intelligent. I think he was even going to school, but he didn't have a car. And I remember telling my girlfriend and my mom about it, and she was like, well, you know, date him. And they were like, don't be so picky, just go to the movie, have a good time. And so I figured, you know, I wanted to go see a nice movie, and since he was gonna, you know, pay, so I'd go. And he asked me. So I picked him up, and he lived over off of 56th Street. And we drove to the movie theater, and it was right over there by Target when they had the movie theater in there. And I parked the car, and we walked up, and this was like back in like, I think it was 93. And we walked up to the movie theater, and he paid his way, and then it was time to pay mine, and he looked over at me, and I was like, wow, I know he isn't expecting me to pay, and then he was. And so I said, no, we gotta go. So I should have just turned around and walked away, but I didn't, because I was, you know, kind of nice, and I knew he worked next door. So I did take him home. But I didn't hear much after that of what he had to say, so I was not listening. And I just took off and just took him home and dropped him off, and I never talked to him again. And his name was Seth. S-E-T-H. And I always remember his name because they have a Seth in the Bible. And he was something else. I never forget that. And that's why I don't even really kind of like to go on dates a lot of times because of him, because I do not go Dutch, okay? If you ask me out on a date, don't expect me to pay. Now, I'm not saying I would never pay for nothing one day, but, because, you know, I've treated men to things before, but I think you have to, like, earn that, and he was just, like, this was our first times getting to know each other. He could have at least came up with some money. He didn't even have a car, so he was even lucky I even picked him up, but he wasn't grateful because he just wanted a free ride to the movies. Now, I don't even know why he invited me to the movie when he could have just caught the bus and went by himself. So, anyways, I just learned that these men are, you know, a trip. And you gotta watch them and stuff. They'll try to work you over. I guess he was used to women paying and chauffeuring him around. And you know the type. You probably got one sitting next to you. Who knows? Or he's driving your car. Or you bought him one. Because I know many women have done that. Even a couple of my girlfriends. I mean, have guys that they've helped out and stuff. I mean, a lot of women do that just to keep a man, and I understand it's lonely and everything. But I just am not, you know, wanting to do that because I'm not that, you know, in a situation where I really want a man that bad. Because I'm just I'm pretty secure, you know, with being alone. And it saves me a lot of trouble, let me tell you. A lot of heartache. Because a lot of these women, all they do is worry all day long. Because you got, like, from the minute he wakes up till he goes to bed, if he even comes home, and, you know, if half of them aren't even married, like 75, 85% of them. So they're just hoping, you know, the guy's going to just, you know, be with them, and they have no commitment. They have no paperwork or nothing. And so it's like this game of trying to give him the most sex or whatever it is he wants that's going to keep him there. And so he might, you know, finally commit. And I'm not, you know, feeling that. And some women will do that, and they'll do anything to get the man, give him money, free sex, kids, everything. I mean, and he still won't marry him. So I'm not even trying to go there, you know. But if that works for you, if that floats your boat, then go for it and let, you know, be the target. Let him play you and pull the wool over your eyes, because that's kind of what you deserve. If you think that, you know, you like to play masked man where he goes around, you know, sexing other women and keeps you as part of the harem, and you're just a monkey in the entertainment that cleans the dirty drawers and washes the clothes and makes the food and listens to his crap and pays the bills, so he has like a station, a home station to come to. You know, if that's what you want, then maybe that's what you should do. But me, I'm not going to do that. Okay? I think I have better things to do. I have career goals, and I have educational goals, and I want to, you know, make a difference in this world. I'm a change agent. I don't have time to be trying to school some guy and put him through high school and teach him how to be a man. I mean, you know, because there are men out there that know. So, you know, keep the ones that we don't want and just keep them off our hands. You know, just like when Jessica Biel got married to Justin Timberlake, a lot of women were thankful. Because they were like, hey, get him off the market because he's nothing but trouble. This guy, you know, is carrying all kinds of stuff nobody wants. I mean, so you did us a favor. And, you know, his career wasn't doing too good. So, you know, both of them probably, apparently, his career's not. So, you know, a lot of people like that just leech on each other and try to, you know, pull each other out of the swampland they're going down in. You know, because I call them swamp people, you know. You know, they can't see. They only have one eye. And they go through life, you know, getting duped. And the Illuminati tricked them to sell their souls. And now they're pretty much just commodities. They're just corporate slaves. And they're just, you know, worse than even slavery days. They didn't have to do the stuff they do. I mean, slaves just got up and went to work and plowed the fields and stuff and worked in the gardens and stuff, and they didn't have to like stand in front of cameras and lie and do symbols and all this stuff and rituals and all the crap they have these celebrities have to do now. But now let me cut this short, because every time I make a long video, then I can never download it on YouTube. They always give me a hard time. I'm still trying to get this clout video downloaded, but they just block it because it's just, you know, I went on and the rap that day was so good. I even was surprised. But yeah, so these, you know, these pictures a lot remind me some of the guys I used to date. You know, and the dates, you know, and how they would show up. And it was always just a surprise, you know. They'd have the flowers, they'd have the gifts and the lines and, you know, but it was always fake.